Hey guys, stay patient here. It's early in the morning at the moment, so I'm going to make this a nice brief video, but we've got a couple of new sales on the PlayStation Store in Europe, and there are some nice, easy, quick platinums amongst those sales. So we're going to take a quick look, and if we go to the digital discounts first, I'm going to try and make this a bit briefer than usual. So we're going to focus on the really easy games and also some of the games that might have prices that particularly stand out as being nice and cheap. Now the first one that grabs my eye is Grim Fandango, but of course most of us already have this because it was free on PlayStation Plus a while ago, but it is an easy plat. It's a point and click adventure that will take you about 10 hours to complete. Then we have Retro City Rampage, which is one of the easy platinums that I've not played yet. Apparently it takes less than 5 hours and is about a 2 or 3 out of 10 in difficulty, so a perfect one there, nice and cheap as well. Tabletop Racing is a little bit tougher, obviously most of us already have that again because of PlayStation Plus. Coffin Dodgers is a great one. This takes less than 5 hours again. You can probably get it done in 3 or 4 if you really stick with it. But this is obviously a kart racing game and it is a super easy platinum as well. Then we have Bridge Constructor. Now this is a more recent game and there are some guides for it, although if you follow the guides it might not necessarily work every time because there's some elements of randomness involved, I believe. I've not played this one myself either, but it does look like, a dead easy one. If you follow the guide, then you can just retry each of the bridges a few times until the setup that you've got from the guide works. And again, this is one that will take probably around 3 hours to complete. Let's keep scrolling down here then. We've also got Strike Vector EX. This is another game that I've not played myself, but from the feedback it does sound relatively easy. It's like around a 3 out of 10, maybe a 4, but this does take a bit longer. I believe it's somewhere around 20 hours if I remember correctly. And the second page is nice and short, but we do have the World of Nublar. This is the stacking version of Nublar. If you remember, there is a normal version from the US, then there's a normal version from Europe, if you're in one of the countries that had it released. And then there was the World of Nublar, which is also only available in certain countries in Europe. So this is the third stacking list, and it's still quite expensive for what you're getting, but it's a half-hour platinum, and $7.39. It's a lot to spend for just a platinum trophy, basically, but it's definitely cheaper than it was. So if you were waiting for a sale, then now would be the time to grab it. Now if we head back, there are a few games I was going to point out from the other sale, which is this February savings sale. This is mostly AAA, so we're not going to be looking at everything here because most of the time games are cheaper to buy on disc if you have the option. But there are a few games here that kind of hold their value. There are of course a lot of easy platinums amongst these, but I'm not just pointing out the easy plats. I'm trying to focus on ones that are worth picking up from the store. I did notice that Project Cars that seems like a fairly cheap price. That's actually a good game. It's kind of like filling the void left by Gran Turismo, seeing as we haven't had a GT for a while. But we've got the Metro games, they're all easy. Far Cry Primal you saw there, but they're not especially cheap necessarily. There are some games that are better to buy digital though. So let's have a look here. Where are we? A lot of these are still quite expensive if you compare them to, the price that you could get them for on disc. This here though, Adam's Venture Origins, is a game that does need to be this price or less, but for some reason when it released it was extremely expensive even if you did buy it on disc. Now I paid more than this price for a disc copy without a case and without a manual, so that gives you an idea of how it's holding its value. But it was £45, it was basically priced as a full AAA game, but this feels more like an indie game, and it's about 3 hours long to get the platinum. And it's dead easy. You can follow a guide if you want to. You probably won't need to. Some of the puzzles, you'll get through the game quicker if you do follow a guide. But this is, a perfect trophy hunter's game, really. It's still a lot to spend for a 3 hour long game. But like I say, it's one of those that for some reason was extremely expensive. So it does stand out to me as a good price when compared to its previous price. Next up, we have a kind of similar game that's sort of priced as a AAA title, but isn't really. Alekine's Gun. This is one that's going to take you, I believe, around 10 hours or so. It's a kind of 3 or 4 out of 10 when it comes to difficulty. So this is another it's a good buy, if you're looking for a fairly solid but maybe not quite AAA title to play, then it's something different to try out, and I'm probably going to pick up a copy myself because that's one of the ones I've not played yet. Let's carry on here. I don't think there's a huge amount on this sale that's really worth pointing out here. We got some VR stuff. Oh, we do have Nero. Nothing Ever Remains Obscure. This is another Dead Easy Platinum. I think I actually paid less than this when I bought it, so it might have been on sale already. But £8, this is one that's going to take you, I think, about 3 hours, if my memory serves me correctly. And again, it's dead easy. You can follow a guide if you need to. It's one of those that have shown up on my top 10 lists a few times. We have this quadruple pack here, which seems like a good deal. £16, you get both of the Saints Row games on PS4, the remasters, and the remasters of both Metro games, and all 4 of these are at least relatively straightforward platinums. You've got Snoopy's Grand Adventure. This is another one that was way overpriced when it released, but this is a kind of 6 to 8 hour platinum. It's not particularly enjoyable. It's basically a 2D Disney platformer. It's okay, but it will definitely be a game that you probably just play to earn the trophies. What else have we got here? The Talos Principle is actually a game I've been meaning to play for a while. I don't think it's necessarily a dead easy platinum, but I just thought I'd point it out because it does look kind of interesting. If you enjoyed The Witness, it's that kind of puzzle game, sort of in an open world, I believe. But having not played it yet, I can't say for sure. Anyway, the last one, on the final page, we've got Yesterday Origins. Now, this is a game I actually spoke about in one of the recent trophy update shows. Basically, this has been out for a few months, but it was glitched and there was a trophy that you couldn't earn. But now they fixed it, and The Mind is a City has got a guide up on PlayStationTrophies.org, and I've actually been, I was thinking about doing a guide for it, a video guide, but I didn't because it was so much money for a game that's basically like an indie point-and-click adventure. £35 seemed way overpriced, but I am going to pick it up now, so I might well put a guide together for this, seeing as I'm betting, some of you guys will also pick up a copy while it's on sale. So there we have it, guys. That's all the games I wanted to highlight today. Hopefully I've made it a bit quicker than usual and not sort of wasted half your day just talking about the sales. But thanks very much for watching, guys. Hopefully you can pick some of these up and save a bit of money. And, if there's any guides that you would like put together for any of them, you can always suggest them, and maybe I'll be able to add them to my repertoire. But thanks once again, guys. Have a great day, and I'll catch you all very soon.